Welcome to the Stock Talk Learn and Earn video Q&A podcast. Global Hemp Group is a hemp-based company committed to sustainability and social responsibility in a theme of global environmental stewardship as it pursues opportunities within these sectors. This theme drives the company's HAIZ concept in order to secure a solid platform of products and services that are environmentally friendly while producing consistent ROI for all stakeholders. Global Hemp trades on the Canadian Securities Exchange under the symbol GHG. Today, we're very happy to be joined by company president, CEO, and chairman of the board, Curt Huber. Curt, thanks very much for joining us here today at Stockhouse.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure as well. Now, to start off with, Curt, can you just give us a little bit of background history about yourself and the company?
Sure. I've been involved in the public company world for, probably the last 25 years. I've been associated with a lot of different companies in different industries, mostly as a director or senior officer. I joined Global Hemp just after its inception in 2014. A mutual friend of the founder introduced me. I really liked the concept of what the company wanted to do and its vision. And originally came on as the CFO and been with the company ever since. And last year I became the president of the company.
Now, Curt, can you update our investor audience and your Global Hemp shareholders on any new company developments, especially in the wake of COVID-19?
As we wound down our operations in Oregon, we were focused on cultivation of hemp for CBD extraction in Oregon at our farm in H.A.Z.E. And back in September of last year, had the opportunity to sort of change our focus and go back to our roots. And so the COVID was a little bit challenging, well, more than a little bit challenging. It was quite challenging for us in the industry, especially with relating to cultivation of hemp. And we had employees and all of the issues that come with COVID. So, that was a very challenging year for us last year. But we've since announced that we've wound down those operations. We've sold the farm in Oregon, and we're proceeding forward with our new vision, which is really our old vision. And at this point, COVID doesn't impact us simply because we are now just putting the assets together for the development of what we call our Colorado Hemp Agro-Industrial Zone, or as you mentioned, the HAIZ.
Mm-hmm. Now, Curt, there are a lot of hemp companies out there in this space. And what is it that makes your company and your business model different from the rest?
Well, we've always believed in the industrial applications of hemp. And that's what we're pursuing now. But it goes, it's a much broader vision than that. We really are looking to build a sustainable city using eco-friendly technologies, hemp-based building materials. And, if you look in Europe, they have a lot of hemp-based building construction going on right now. And North America really doesn't. You have the odd place where somebody gets excited about utilizing hemp and the benefits that come with it, and they build a house. And then some other city across the whole country builds another one. Mm-hmm. What we're doing is we have a vision to actually build out a whole community and apply a number of technologies that will make this whole project sustainable. We're actually going to grow our own building materials right in the backyard.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. Now, you've just recently secured key residential development land for your initial phases at your Colorado Hemp Agro-Industrial Zone. Can you expand on this initiative for our investor audience, Curt?
Sure. Actually, in the last 2 weeks, we've actually acquired 2 properties, one for the residential component, and one is an industrial component where we will actually have the manufacturing facility. This is the industrial land is 44 acres in size. Right. It'll have the whole manufacturing. It'll also have space there that allows us to expand our collaboration. So we can bring other companies in that are like-minded, have interesting technologies that would complement what we're doing in the project. And so there's lots of room to expand there. In addition, our vision is to have a small demonstration farm there, a visitor center, and a couple of demonstration or model homes on that site as well. And that'll be the beginning of the whole project. Now, the 175 acres that we announced, we are in the process of closing that transaction as well. And we will build our community there. There's an existing community there of close to 100 houses, so we'll be expanding on that. This particular acreage is already annexed into the city, and so a lot of the approval process has happened already, and now we need to just go back in and refresh a lot of things that were already accomplished. So it's both of these are very key strategic pieces, and one of the things that we look to do then is continue to expand the acreage position, which will be used more for the agricultural aspect. This whole area is known for hay and alfalfa production. What we want to do is increase the production of hemp here, which is obviously a much higher value added crop, especially when you process it and into something like building materials. In addition, what we'll be able to do is expand utilizing the fiber, which is a byproduct of the decortication process. And so that'll be a key as we continue to expand the whole operation at the HAIZ.
Well, speaking of transactions, you've recently announced a transaction to utilize strategic water infrastructure assets with Western Sierra Resource Corporation. This may be news to many of our investors. Can you unpack the benefits of it, Curt?
Well, certainly for all the things that we want to do, whether it be residential development, whether it be agriculture, obviously having available water is a key component. One of the things that Western Sierra did over probably the last 15 years, they got the benefit of that, of the development of water infrastructure and water rights. So they acquired those from an individual who is now the president of the company. And he's expert in not only the water aspect of things, but he's also been in the development business for the last 40 years. And so he'll be a key person in the development of our whole residential project here.
Okay. Now, Curt, the company looks set for strong growth in 2021. How are you placed to expand operations to meet demand?
Well, what we want to do, as I mentioned, building a couple of model homes. Now, the interesting thing about this area of Northwest Colorado where we're in is it has a huge pent-up demand for affordable housing.
Yes.
And so we know that if we build it, they will come. And because this is a historic problem that has not gone away for probably at least 2 decades, and it's only getting worse. You're seeing in some areas, it's like a lot of areas in North America where the housing prices have gone, increased tremendously, and it's priced a lot of people out of the market. What we're looking to do is to build in the affordable housing side. Our suggested price range at this point is, $275 to $475, and the idea is by building 2 model homes initially, and we're looking to have that done this year, is that we'll be able to begin pre-sales. And basically have a whole lineup of houses ready to build, sold, and we'll be able to generate a fair bit of revenue for the company doing that.
Outstanding. Now, for company shareholders and potential investors, what kind of future development and progress can we expect at your Colorado HAIZ operations?
Well, our first step was acquiring the strategic land holdings. Without that, there is no project. So we announced that those would be closing mid-month here, and now we can proceed forward. So we are currently working on major funding, which is more a secured debt facility, which will be collateralized with the water infrastructure that you mentioned. And that's, that'll be one of the next steps. So as we're also looking at the various hemp technologies that we want to employ at the project, and we have an opportunity to bring in some of those into the project as well. So that's, those are the next two steps that we're working on here that you'll see more information about.
Well, Curt, I have to mention that your stock has had a bit of a roller coaster ride over the past year. What can you tell our investor audience regarding the current valuation of your stock and why you think it's a good buy right now?
Well, certainly if you look at the stock historically, it's had times where it's been considerably higher and for no real reason. I'll be honest, we at one point in the frothiness of the market, we traded up to numbers that just weren't realistic because there wasn't anything in the company. Now we are at a point where we have a solid vision. We're executing on it. If you look at sort of the progress that we've made since we first announced the partnership on this, which was back in September, we've moved ahead tremendously, and this is really just the beginning. And we will undoubtedly see, much more expansion of the project. So, at these prices, we've been, as I say, considerably higher in the past with not nearly as much going on. So this really is a good opportunity to take a look at our stock, evaluate whether you feel that our vision is correct, and come and participate.
Curt, what's the long-term strategy for the company moving into 2021 and beyond? And what retail and institutional investors should be looking out for?
Well, the interesting thing about this particular project is the time horizon on it. This, believe it or not, it's actually, it has a time horizon that's probably 25 years. We have the opportunity to continue to build. We have the water in place to be able to build 3,000 houses if we wanted to. This is in addition to the revenue stream that you get from the sale of the residential side of the program. This is going to accumulate huge real estate assets, water infrastructure assets, and it's going to ultimately translate to multiple revenue streams because you're going to grow hemp, which is then sold to the manufacturing facility. The manufacturing facility sells the finished product to the house building division, and then the house building division sells the homes. Right. So you have multiple revenue streams and you have large asset accumulation. And our vision is to continue to accumulate acreage, and in this region, convert it to high value agriculture, being hemp, and where you have unencumbered land, we'll be able to grow hemp and alfalfa, and which is a marginal product. There's not a lot of money that is to be made in that, but it's a good alternative crop for the hemp.
Now, Curt, can you tell our audience a little bit about your corporate management and board teams, along with the experience and innovative ideas that they bring to the hemp agricultural space?
Certainly. In the last week and a half, we've just added a new director. That was Roger Johnson. He happens to be the president of Western Sierra Resource that you mentioned earlier. Yep. Again, his background is in real estate development. He's been in the development industry for 40 plus years, been in this particular region for 20 plus years, done a lot of development in the area, and is the person that put together all the water infrastructure. So he is an ideal person to be on our board. And it's somebody that I've wanted to work with since I first met him back in 2015, when we actually walked the property when we originally wanted to do this project. In addition to him is Paul Perot. Dr. Perot has been with the company almost right from the beginning, around the same time I did. And he has been very instrumental in putting together some of the hemp growing side of things. He managed back in a couple of years back, we had operations in Canada where we looked to grow hemp in New Brunswick. He was instrumental in running that side of the company. But he has been just a tremendous help to me in developing our modeling for the whole hemp agro-industrial zone here, and has been quite instrumental in sourcing and building a few relationships that I think are going to pay dividends for the company as we move forward. We have a lot of hemp expertise in that we also have, although he's not a director, he is an advisor to the board, and he is a gentleman by the name of Gabriel Gauthier, who is a hemp master builder, spent 3 years in France learning the craft, is one of the earliest, well, maybe even the earliest adopter of hemp construction in North America. He's got probably 150 different hemp-based construction projects under his belt. He's based out of Eastern Canada. And so we have great expertise there.
Curt, can you tell us a little bit about your R&D division?
Well, R&D is a very important component to everything that we do. The problem with the whole hemp industry has been that there was this 80-year moratorium. And what industry in the world today hasn't been impacted by new technology? Oh, hemp. We feel very strongly that R&D is very important. So it's important in our hemp agro-industrial zone, as well as we've actually opened a R&D division. And it's headed by Professor Victor Castaño. He's based out of Querétaro in Mexico, which is just north of Mexico City. He's attached to the largest university in Mexico. And we are beginning to recruit a very, very bright team down there that is looking at, among other things, alternative building materials and the use of hemp in them.
Right.
In addition to that, we've actually completed our first collaboration, which is with a Mexican group that is actually allowed to cultivate hemp and cannabis down there right now, Aramet. And we're in the process of being able to bring some hemp seed into the country so that we can grow hemp there, and they can utilize that new material, fresh material, in the R&D. But one of the other things that we're looking to do is to enhance our collaboration there. We're talking with a number of like-minded groups, including even there's an opportunity potentially with one of the states in Mexico. Mm-hmm. So we're pursuing a lot of these things. Now, I'm hoping to have some news on this front over the next week or two. A lot of things in Mexico were sort of sidelined over the last short little bit with their election. Now that's behind them. It's kind of business as usual again. So, we feel very strongly that research is the key to everything that we're doing. We'll be able to utilize that in our project in Colorado, probably market it widely with the goal of creating intellectual property that we can patent and utilize at our projects. So we're going to continue to build out our opportunities on the R&D front, and it will positively impact everything that we're doing in Colorado.
Well, finally, Curt, if there's anything that I've overlooked, please feel free to elaborate.
I think we pretty much covered it this time around. I really appreciate the opportunity to chat with you on the company, and look forward to answering anybody's questions if they have them.
Well, we very much enjoyed having you with us and look forward perhaps to having you back with us in the future for another interview, Curt.
Thank you so much.
Be well and stay safe. We have been speaking with company president, CEO, and chairman of the board, Curt Huber of Global Hemp Group. I'd like once again to thank Mr. Huber for joining us and sharing this insightful information about his company with their Stockhouse video podcast audience and investors. I'm Dave Jackson for Stockhouse Media. Thanks for watching.